Friends, I am here Ruxana Azhar. Today I am going to present before you a very important topic of English literature. It is T.S. Eliot's The Wasteland. Friends, T.S. Eliot is a great poet, critic and a 20th century Renaissance man. This poem of T.S. Eliot, The Wasteland, was published in 1922 in a famous magazine, The Criterion. Friends, the Criterion magazine is important because it used to publish one of the complex topics of 20th century literature. So without wasting time, let's begin the topic.
Thomas Stearns Eliot, popularly known as T.S. Eliot, was an American English poet, playwright, leader of modernist movement in English poetry. He was born on 26 September 1888 at St. Louis, Missouri, US. He died on 4 January 1965 at Kennington, UK. T.S. Eliot is the great poet of 20th century. His experiments in diction, style, versification revitalized English poetry, shattered orthodox writing. In 1948, he was awarded Nobel Prize and also with the Order of Merit. His book, The Four Quartets, is a set of 4 poems published over a period of 6 years, which led to his recognition as the greatest poet and man of letters. All his plays are written in blank verse of his own invention. Thus, he could bring out poetic drama back on stage. Friends, blank verse is an unrhyming verse written in iambic pentameter, such as Macbeth of Shakespeare. From 1920s onward, Eliot's influence as a poet, as a critic both in Great Britain and in America was immense. During his lifetime, his work was subject of much sympathetic critique. After his death, interpreters were noticeably more critical for his work. His poem The Wasteland is considered as Mona Lisa of English literature. This poem talks about barren land with no productivity, which has no beginning neither end. To great extent, this poem is related with realism, based on the destructive conditions prevailing after World War I. Some 37 million people were killed, wounded, or were missing in World War I. The title Wasteland refers to the spiritual and intellectual darkness of men. Wasteland poem is divided into 5 parts. Burial of the Dead, which has 76 lines, The Game of Chase, which is 96 lines, The Fire Sermon, which is 139 lines, which is the longest one, Death by Water, which has 10 lines, and the last, What the Thunder Said, has 113 lines. So we are going to start with the introduction. T.S. Eliot has depicted the city life. He has used a complex language in this poem. He has used a number of mythical elements which can be seen. The Wasteland has the original name He-Do the Police in different voices. And total lines in this poem are 434. The structure of this poem is disjointed. Different parts of this poem are not connected together. Students mostly find it difficult to understand. Narrator of this poem is not known. Now I will start the explanation of the 5 different parts. First of all is the burial of the dead. As you know that burial word is used when we put something under the soil. He starts the poem with the sentence, April is the cruelest month. April is the month of showers. Sentence has been used by Geoffrey Chaucer in his poem The Canterbury Tales. Here, T.S. Eliot has taken this line in a different way, like this is opposite from the Geoffrey Chaucer's. Here he is cursing this month as this is the cruelest one. This part, the burial of the dead, talks about the bloodshed, the dead bodies which are scattered everywhere after World War I. The past memories, the desires which cannot be fulfilled. Society, rituals, traditions, their role in life. Use of myth and legends in this part is huge. For example, he has used the legend of King Fisher, who was the Arthurian legend. He has used different languages in this poem. The second myth which is used here is the Grail legend. The Grail legend, friend, according to the Christianity, is a cup, or you can say is kind of a plate where the blood of Christ is collected, and according to their belief, it is a healing power. The second point of this poem is the game of chess. Here the poet talks about a painting of a female Philomela. She is a rich lady. She was raped by King Teresa's. After some time, Philomela makes up her mind that she will take revenge. So along with her sister, she takes revenge from Teresa's. After taking revenge, she becomes a nightingale and she flies away. The third part of the poem is the fire sermon. Friends, here fire sermon represents degeneration. The fire here poets want to say that it has a symbolical meaning. People who are born in this world are, according to the religion, they are instructed to stay away from the negative part, from the vice. So here it says, in the beginning, the speaker, it is shown here by the river Thames. The speaker is very gloomy and has nothing useful in life. His meaninglessness depicts the human cruelty after World War I. Teresa has fled and turned into a woman by the magic of Hera, who is a goddess, and he has been turned into a woman for 7 years. Goddess Hera is shown here as Zeus' wife. She turns Teresa into a woman. Now the fire sermon shows again an illegal relationship of a male and a female that is ended with a depressing song. Now the fourth part, which is the death by water, the poet here tells us about Phlebas. Phlebas is a sailor who drowns into sea. So he says that life has completely changed. Few seconds before he was alive, he was full of happiness. He died all of a sudden, and he here symbolizes the life which is meaningless. Life has no meaning. We don't know about the coming second. So he here is showing his sympathies with Phlebas. What the thunder said. What the thunder said in this part, a landscape is shown with no water. The two people are walking together. Suddenly, one of them saw a person, but he disappeared all of a sudden. And then thunder cracked, and 3 words came out. And those 3 words were Date, which means give, Dayadhavam, which means sympathize, Damyata, which means to give control. After these 3 words, the poet recites a mantra which says Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. So the poet ends with the word of peace. Thank you, friends.